All right, so the Democrats are now saying that Trump said some bad words about some countries and some people from countries. He said, why should we accept people from these shithole countries? That's what they're apparently saying. That he said, places like Haiti and all these African countries, oh, why should we accept them from this country? So, I don't know whether it's true or not. Nobody knows whether it's true or not, except for Donald Trump and the people who were in the meeting where this comment allegedly was said. But the media is going on like as if they know that he said this. It's like he is just guilty. This is how the media is these days. Especially the Canadian media. I mean, the Canadian media is a load of dog crap, cow manure. I mean, you listen to CBC, CTV, Global. You look at their Facebook posts about this whole scandal, and they're saying Trump said shithole when you don't know whether he said it. And you know what? I don't believe the Democrats. I don't believe them. I'm sorry. I don't believe them. I don't know whether it was said, but I don't believe them. That's just me. You know why I don't believe them? Because the Democrats hate Donald Trump with a passion, a huge passion. Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Dick Dirt, all these people hate Trump. I mean, the Virginia governor actually said he wants to beat Trump up. I mean, I don't know why this fool ain't arrested right now. Can you imagine if Rush Limbaugh said that he wanted to beat up Obama? He'd be in jail by now. He'd be locked up. He'd be in prison. They'd probably hang the fool. They'd probably hang him. I'm serious. They'd probably hang him. Can you imagine? So I don't believe them. I don't believe Nancy Pelosi. I don't believe Dick Durbin. I don't believe you, Chuck Schumer, crying Chuck Schumer. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I'm sorry. Now, this president is the most hated president by the opposition in history. And I'm talking about by the opposition, not by the regular folks. I mean, the opposition. I mean, look what's happening right now. You got jobs coming back to the United States. Fiat, I believe, or Mazda, one of those car companies, said they're going to close down a factory in Mexico and bring it back to the United States, in Alabama, I think it is. You got businesses all over the place giving bonuses to their workers. Walmart, all these companies are giving bonuses. This is helping people, primarily people on the lower end of the economic spectrum, which in America is mostly black people and minorities. So the Democrats are desperate. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're making this up. I wouldn't be surprised. They're desperate and they hate Donald Trump. And the fact that all this stuff is happening with the economy, all this good news, they're like, hey, let's go to a meeting. Nobody will know. People won't believe. Maybe people won't believe Trump. They won't know. So we'll say, he said this about these countries. He said this. That's it. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Now, I don't know whether he said it or not, but that's what I think happened. They are worried that Trump is getting more and more popular. More and more people are starting to like him and appreciate him. Even people who were a bit not on the Trump train, or even some Democrats who are starting to benefit economically from the Trump presidency, and that's mostly minorities. So they have to whip up something. I mean, they have to figure out a way to make him look bad again. So the media won't be talking about the economy. They won't talk about the car companies moving back to the United States. They won't talk about the companies giving bonuses to their workers. They won't talk about any of that stuff. They're going to talk about this whole alleged shithole comment. Now, with that being said, if he did say that, I would condemn him to hell if he said that. My parents come from the Caribbean, and you know what though? To be perfectly honest, those countries are shitholes. I mean, the country. I'll talk about Jamaica is better than most of the Caribbean countries. I mean, I'm just saying, but people are leaving those countries like the plague. They're leaving them like ducks or like birds in winter. They're leaving. They're running. They run as fast as they can. The faster they can run on the plane and get to America or Canada or Europe, the better. I mean, these people are running. So yeah, these countries are shitholes, but I would condemn Trump to hell if he said that why should we bring people from these shithole countries? Because my parents, and I thank God for my parents, they worked their asses off. They weren't exactly born rich. I mean, they were smart. They were rich in brain power, and they worked their butts off. They struggled like hell, and in the end, they legally came to Canada together and had me, my sister, and all of my cousins and everything are born in Canada, and we're all thankful that our parents had the brain power. They didn't have the wealth, they didn't have the connections, but they came here with their blood, sweat, and tears, and they came here and they've the country has benefited from them. My parents have probably done more for the country than some of the people who've been born in this country who just lay on their ass and complain about how much they're not getting and they don't do shit. So, my parents haven't taken a penny from the government. So Donald Trump would be stupid if he said something like that. He'd be a fool to say something like that. But I don't think he said it. I'm sorry. I don't think he said it. I just don't, because the Democrats hate Trump's guts. You have these people, Maxine Waters, all these fools want to impeach Trump for nothing. They just want to impeach the guy. They just want to impeach him for no reason. They talk about Russia. Up to date, they haven't proven anything with Russia. But Hillary Clinton, it looks like Hillary colluded with the Russians. And that's another thing. Hillary Clinton, what she did to Haitians is a sin, and nobody talked about that. People barely talked about that. What she did, Trump may have said something about Haiti, but what she did to Haitians with her foundation, with her crooked foundation, is a sin. And God will burn her in hell for that if she doesn't repent, which I don't think she will. But that's the thing. And finally, these third world presidents and prime ministers and leaders in Africa and all these other places that condemning Trump for what they don't know he said, but they think he said, they should shut their ass up, because it's their fault why their countries are shitholes right now. All these African countries, look at Zimbabwe, look at South Africa, look at Nigeria, look at all these countries, they are shitholes. You know what's a big shame? You know what is a big shame? Look at South Africa and Zimbabwe, which used to be Rhodesia. Those countries were run by a white minority. And, they had racist systems with the black majority, apartheid and all that friggin' foolishness. And, the countries, I don't know if they were considered third world, but they were a lot better off than they were now. Now the black people running it, and it's like South Africa has turned into, one huge ghetto. This is embarrassing. This is garbage. This is shit. This is disgusting. It's a shame. So these people, these leaders should shut their ass up. They should stop being so corrupt. Stop, backing their people. Look at Mugabe. They got rid of him, but they're the reasons why their countries are such shitholes right now. Their corruption, their incompetence, their lack of imagination. Africa could be a world continent. People could easily be licking African feet right now if African leaders and African countries use their head, Africa has almost every natural resource known to man. If they use their head, they could be living in wealth and happiness. But they don't use their head. Their leaders are corrupt. And the people are stupid because they keep electing the damn leaders, even though the elections might be rigged. When I think of Africa, like Zimbabwe and those things, I can't, I have to think of Canada. Zimbabwe is just like Canada. They allow their leaders to just mack them, destroy everything they have, but they keep electing them. Keep macking me more, keep destroying me more, keep giving it to me, keep giving. It's the same as Canada. So, Canadians shouldn't talk about Africa. It's the same damn thing. Look at this long-haired Mac Daddy. Even though he's getting his ass whooped all over Canada with these town halls, he's being heckled, people throwing paper at him. I love seeing it, but, still he's ahead in the polls, which is sickening. Canada's just like Zimbabwe and South Africa and all these other countries that keep electing these politicians who destroy the country, but keep electing them. and then they snot their nose at people who actually probably could make the country better. But oh well. That's the thing. That's how I see it. I don't believe these Democrats. I don't believe them. I don't believe he said it. I don't believe he said it. I think they're desperate because there's a lot of good stuff happening in the economy, and they don't want the media to talk about that. They want to talk about something that may or may not have happened, and the media are gladly picking it up because they don't like Trump either. So there you have it. This is the Arana Nation.